It may be April Fool's Day, but this is a very real challenge. On my first Arlecchino only video, I got some comments saying the challenge wasn't much of a challenge at all, so I decided to try and see what the least challenging challenge could be. Additionally, I get a lot of requests for challenges using only the Archons. Like, a lot. I did get Raiden, and Furina, obviously, on solo accounts, but I decided I wanted to do something a little different while still utilizing the Archons. So today we're beginning a long-term challenge series completing Genshin Impact exclusively using the Archons. All of my other challenges on this channel have been completely free to play. This one, not so much. On a totally unrelated note, today's video is sponsored by TokyoTreat and Sakura Co. If you missed out on last month's boxes, you definitely don't want to miss this month. TokyoTreat and Sakura Co. bring Japan right to your door, meaning you can enjoy delicious snacks and learn about Japanese culture, all from the comfort of your home. In Japan, nighttime events are often held that will illuminate the cherry blossom trees with lanterns or lights, giving an entirely new experience, even if you saw the exact same trees during daylight. Just like the traditions of night sakura, known as Yozakura, the TokyoTreat and Sakura Co. boxes this month share the incredible flavors found during cherry blossom season in a completely different way from previous boxes. With TokyoTreat, each month brings a new box filled to the brim with delicious Japanese snacks. TokyoTreat boxes include a variety of specialty flavored Japanese chips, occasional sodas, and exclusive seasonal themed treats, with some only available in Japan for a limited time. I thought it wouldn't be possible to top my love of last month's box, but April's box was everything I could have hoped for and more. With the theme Sakura Night Snack Fest, enjoy a taste of Japanese nightlife without having to sacrifice sleep. Or, if you're like me and have never known a normal sleep schedule, enjoy a variety of snacks perfect for late night gaming or binge watching sessions. I personally am a total fiend for matcha, and this month's specialty Kit Kat flavor matcha latte was my absolute favorite. I will be completely honest here, I had to break into this bag as soon as the box arrived. Luckily, since each box comes with a full-size package of Kit Kats, you can have one, or two, right off the bat and still have plenty more to last you throughout the month until the next box. Now, if you're thinking, but Ren, Kit Kats alone can't satisfy my matcha needs. First of all, relatable, and that's so valid. But second, you know I got you. Also included in April's box is Sakura matcha wafers, letting you enjoy the rich matcha flavor in a gentle and sweet Sakura cookie shell. Something I really love with TokyoTreat and Sakura Co. boxes is if you subscribe for multiple months, each consecutive month you'll get an additional treat. This month, my box included this delicious Hokkaido strawberry milk and chocolate cookie. Also included in this month's TokyoTreat box is this slice of Sakura Castella cake. I was very pleasantly surprised with how spongy and soft it was, and the flavor was super nice and mild. Just don't be like me and make sure to take the paper off the top. Besides mentioning details and tips for best enjoyment of the snacks, the included booklet also includes allergen information, so those with food allergies or sensitivities can feel comfortable enjoying worry-free. Beyond details and allergen information for the snacks, the cultural guide booklet is a great way to learn about different nightlife activities in Japan. From seasonal activities like nighttime sakura viewing to the year-round fun of arcades and karaoke, there's plenty to do after the sun sets in Japan, and those activities pair perfectly with the snacks in this month's box. After spending an evening out, you can warm up your body and spirit with a nice hot ramen cup, like with this month's perfect ponzu soup. If you're more interested in traditional culture, Sakura Co. is the box for you. Sakura Co. focuses on supporting and preserving Japanese culture with authentic artisan treats made by local snack makers throughout Japan. Each month brings a new box full of traditional snacks, specialty Japanese teas, and a piece of beautiful Japanese tableware to add a little bit of tradition to your home. April's Sakura Co. box focuses on the centuries-old custom of enjoying the sakura blossoms under the warm glow of nightfall with the theme Moonlit Sakura. Learn all about the history of traditional Japanese lanterns and nighttime sakura viewing, as well as Japanese tea ceremony with the cultural guide booklet, and read about all the local snack makers throughout Japan while you enjoy their treats. The snacks in this month's box were absolutely delicious, and just like TokyoTreat, this month's box was definitely my favorite. I have sensitive teeth, so a lot of sweets in America are too sweet, but the treats in this month's Sakura Co. box was an absolute perfect level of sweetness. The Sakura chocolate cookie was crunchy and buttery, and the sweet chocolate shell enhanced the flavors perfectly. However, my personal favorite, the Sakura dorayaki, had a soft and gentle flavor, and the white bean paste filling was absolutely delicious. Just like the cherry blossoms, the Sakura dorayaki is around for only a short while each year, as the bean paste is infused with sakura leaves, meaning if you want a chance to try this out, you'll need to make sure to get this month's box. Also included is Sakura cream cookies, and these cookies with sakura flavored cream in between were perfectly crunchy and honestly hard to put down. All of the snacks paired so well with this month's specialty Sakura hibiscus flavored tea. I absolutely loved this tea. It was so warm and really balanced the sweetness of the snacks. You might notice throughout the segment you can see my mug in the corner because I was sipping on the tea throughout my filming. Oh, what's that? You're wondering where I got this beautiful plate I'm using? Well, you're in luck. As I mentioned earlier, Sakura Co. boxes also come with a piece of tableware to add a bit of traditional Japanese culture to your home. And this plate is the special tableware included in this month's Sakura Co. box. Crafted by master artisans in the Gifu prefecture known for their ceramics, the gorgeous sakura detailing is perfectly fitting to use while enjoying the spring snacks in this month's box. If either the TokyoTreat or Sakura Co. box sounds like your cup of tea, get it? because you can follow the link in the description and use the code REN to get $5 off your first order. Make sure you order by April 15th to guarantee getting your hands on this box. If you order either box, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know which snack is your favorite. However, if you're more into cute anime trinkets or beauty products, my code also works with Yume Twins, which has anime and otaku goodies, or No Make No Life, which contains Korean and Japanese cosmetics and skincare. Thank you so much to TokyoTreat and Sakura Co for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get started with this challenge. I began this account back in October by pulling during Raiden's banner, and after getting her, I put the account in purgatory until Nahida's banner. I was hoping I'd get lucky twice, but after 70 wishes, I lost the 50-50. This became a pattern. Go ahead, place your bets now on how many 50-50s I'll lose by the end of this. Though, if you watched my teasers, you already know how this is going. I gave my wallet a few days to recover, and eventually, after another 60 or so wishes, I don't know, I stopped counting, we finally got our guaranteed Nahida. 2 Archons down, 4 more to go, because I'm hoping this challenge doesn't take me until Saritsa comes out to finish.
Huh?
I don't think I've ever had this happen to me before on any accounts. I've gotten 2 5-stars in a pull, but never 2 limited 5 stars. Well, excluding the Chronicled Wish, but that doesn't count. We officially have a team now. A team of 2, but it's better than solo. So now it's time to start, right? No. I put the account back in purgatory until Zhongli. I knew I probably needed him to skip Amber's domain, especially since his rerun was before Mavuika's release, who I would need if I wanted to complete that domain as intended. So after waiting another month, it's time for Zhongli's banner. I only had 21 pulls left after Nahida, and another 50-50, so to try and increase my odds, it was time to farm a bit. And by a bit, I mean I looked at a map and found every animalculi in this small map area to level up the Statue of the Seven, and as many chests as I could find. I think this is where I started thinking about the idea of a completionist account, but maybe it was just to try to make me feel better. So while we explore early game in hopes of getting enough wishes to not throw money to the wind, or, well, rocks, I guess. Let's discuss what this challenge will actually be. It took me a while to decide how to use this account, so I was kind of just aimlessly throwing money at the account while soothing myself with the excuse that it's a business expense. At first, I considered making the goal to 36-star the Abyss. With only 6 currently released Archons, I need to have teams of at most 3, and considering I've never even 36-starred the Abyss with my main account, I thought this would be a sufficient challenge. But then I saw videos of people 36-starring the Abyss with solo Archons, so I needed something better. Besides, only running domains to build the characters would be kind of boring. I needed to return to the drawing board. By the time Furina's banner arrived, though, I knew what I wanted to do. This account will be exclusively Archons, obviously, but it will also be a completionist account. The goals will be as follows: completing every quest, including world quests and story quests, and all endings in the hangout events, 36-starring the Abyss, 100% in all regions, including maxing the statues, trees, or whatever they have, and probably the hardest challenge of all achievements. Additionally, all of the Archons will need to be triple crowned because why not? I do the Imaginum Theater too, but I don't think I can complete it with only 6 characters. I think that's everything. Obviously, I have to do everything with only the Archons, but for situations like in some story quests where it requires you to use only the story quest character, that's fine. Defeating every monster at least once will also be part of the challenge, but I'm not going to remember to keep track of that while I'm playing, so I might as well just make a single video with it. We failed pretty miserably at collecting more wishes, so after throwing more money at Hoyoverse, we finally have Zhongli. And Mona, but this isn't about her. Time to start the Archon quest. If you watched my other videos, you have seen the Archon quests ad nauseum by this point, so these videos will primarily focus on exploration and events. Of course, I'll show any fights we have to do in the Archon quests, but otherwise, it'll be very much a TLDR version of them. These videos will also be a lot less edited than my usual challenge videos, and will tend to be a lot of yapping. If you like to put my videos in the background, you're in luck with this series. Before we begin, let's go over the current builds for our trio. We've got Black Tassel on Zhongli, which is ironically one of his best in slot, Black Tassel on Raiden, which is not a best weapon, but unfortunately I have nothing better, and Thrilling Tales on Nahida. Honestly, I don't even know how to build Nahida or how she works at all, so she's kind of the odd one out right now. As you can see, here is me trying to read her talents to see if I could understand it, but it didn't help any. I've built up Raiden and Zhongli pretty well on my main account, but Nahida always just kind of sat on the bench because I didn't understand her kit. Hopefully we'll improve as time goes on. I also ended up swapping to Emerald Orb for Nahida to see if it would work any better, since I do know that she likes Elemental Mastery. As for artifacts, I just did quick configuration for them. Artifacts don't exactly do much this early on. Finally, after all of that, it's time to begin. We started, of course, in Amber's domain, and since Mavuika wouldn't be out for another month, and I wanted to at least make some progress, it was time to utilize Zhongli's skill. Alright, well, that's not really what I meant, but I guess that works too. So now it's officially time to see how successful I can be with properly skipping this domain. Okay, well, that worked better than Wait. What? Why is that up here? Who was supposed to find this? There was a brief consideration to make a counter for how many times I accidentally hold Zhongli's skill out of habit when I meant to just tap it in this challenge, but it happens way more than I'd care to admit, and then I fell off. While I could have just restarted the domain, I decided to try and climb back up, which was successful, even though it took a few tries. And I immediately fell again. After several failed attempts, we finally got everything correct, I got the chest, and I successfully skipped Amber's domain. Honestly, a huge percentage of this challenge consisted of me trying to figure out which character to use for my main explorer. I don't really have a favorite Archon at the moment, so a lot of this came down to abilities. While Zhongli, being the tallest, runs the fastest, you have to listen to
Osmanthus wine
at 10-second intervals, which was enough to keep him out of consideration. Nahida, on the other hand, is the only one with an exploration bonus by utilizing her skill to collect, but at the expense of being a child model and being the slowest runner. As for Raiden, while she's very pretty to look at, she gives absolutely nothing when it comes to exploration advantage. So who did I end up choosing? Well, we'll get back to that later. We arrive at Kaya's domain, and there isn't a need for doing this domain in a convoluted way, so we can just run it as intended. The same goes for Lisa's domain. The only requirement is an electro character, which we have, so we can run it normally. Continuing a yap from my Furina video, my new upstairs neighbors have officially moved in. So, how is it? Awful. You might be thinking, but Ren, it's only been a week. How do you know it's bad already? Honestly, I knew within the first 24 hours. They seem nice enough in the 2 times I've interacted with them when they happened to walk by while I opened my door for a package or DoorDash, but I was apparently very wrong in the thought of, oh, I can just record my voiceovers at night. It's been pointed out a couple of times, but most people tend to look past the fact that I have 2 sets of ears. What this really means is I have highly sensitive hearing. It doesn't necessarily mean my brain processes everything I hear, but that's a story for another time. The reason I bring this up is because the first night that they were fully moved in, which was the same day Furina went up actually, was not the greatest first impression. While I was laying in bed trying to sleep, as one does at 1 in the morning, instead of the ASMR I was trying to listen to, I heard, and felt, the children running around from room to room at 1 a.m. If my bedtime, or at least my TikTok bed rot time, is midnight, primary school-aged children definitely should be asleep by that point. Eventually, probably past 2 a.m., they fell asleep, so I too was able to sleep. That is, until I was woken up at 8 a.m. by the children running around again. Now, I am very tolerable of most things, especially when it comes to people living in their own space. However, I am also someone who very much needs a lot of sleep. The average fox sleeps around 10 hours a day, and I am no exception. Any less, and I am not only cranky, but practically non-functional. So, after trying to work, being too tired to get anything done, and returning to my bed to rot while playing merge games on my iPad like a baby watching Cocomelon, I started to doze off for a nap, and woke up to the fire alarms going off above me. I guess my new plan will need to be recording voiceovers during school hours, which also means getting up way earlier than I want to, but they've woken me up at 8 a.m. more than a few times this week, so I guess that's just the life I must live now. With Act 1 complete, it's time to begin some grinding for AR10. No matter how many times I do this challenge, knowing full well they add Lisa and Kaya to your team after the domain, I always forget to check and remove them. How long did it take this time?
Wait a minute! Who are you?
There may have been 2 Electro Archons at one point, but there isn't 2 anymore, so goodbye Lisa, enjoy your time in the box. With everything right in the world, it's time to take on the Eye of the Storm so we can unlock the Statue of the Seven. There's something so entertaining about using the elemental burst of 2 Archons just to defeat a level 9 Eye of the Storm. We return to the city, and I realize I never ran anybody's trial. Fantastic start. I decide I'll worry about that later, plus at least this time we can use the trial Venti during the Dvalin fight if necessary, and go talk to Catherine to get the Adventurer's Handbook. I know I said I would make this series more about the events and exploration, but there's really not much I can do with either of those until after Mondstadt. Most events don't even unlock until AR20 or AR25. After we get Venti, I'll start working on getting 100% in Mondstadt, since there's obviously a whole lot of animal monuments, and I need him to swirl cryo so I can do Kaya's quest. Most of this challenge is kind of on the fly, despite how many months I had to figure it out, but I like to think that's the point. It's supposed to be fun and just doing things I haven't even done on my main account, like the story quests. To occupy time farming to hit AR10, and while I have you all here, I am looking for opinions. I need a fandom name. I feel kind of goofy even asking that, but after thinking a lot and not being able to come up with something, I realized it would be much more meaningful if you guys create a name. I'll be introducing mascots soon, so it'd be really cute to introduce the mascots and the fandom name together. Additionally, in regards to this challenge, I might update it once a month, it might be more frequently, I'm not sure yet. I mostly want to make this a sort of video series I can upload when I'm not feeling well enough to make a full edited challenge video, and once Venti's out, it's something I can pre-record a lot and have video videos ready for more frequent uploads. Does that make sense? I feel like for now, while I wait for Venti's banner, it'll be a little slow, but once Venti's out, I'll just be grinding and pre-recording a lot. After some more exploration with Raiden, because I'd prefer not doing exploration with a child model when given the choice, we reached AR 10. Before returning to Mondstadt, I updated everyone's build, still using quick configuration, and decided to use the free 10 pull to see if we get a decent weapon for anyone. Survey says, no. Of course not. We do, however, get Chevros, who, much like Lisa, stays in our team until I notice. Truly looking forward to a 4-member team so I can stop worrying about that. Starting Act 2, we chase after Venti to try and get him to join our team. After running around the city, defeating an Eye of the Storm, and attempting to steal the Holy Lyre, he still refuses to join the team. So I guess we'll have to wait until his banner runs. Unfortunate. While we wait for nightfall, we go sit and chat with Stanley and his cat companion, who probably shouldn't be drinking. But what do I know? Also, I love when Nahida sits in the chair, she swings her feet around. It's so cute. Around this point, I was considering making this challenge focus on a different Archon during every nation, which in hindsight didn't really make sense. And since I figured Venti wouldn't be around for a while, I opted to start with Nahida. Why Nahida? Honestly, just because, like I said earlier, I really don't know much about how to use her, so I was hoping this could help me with learning more about dendro reactions. Plus, so long as I use Raiden's skill, Nahida does really good damage. Not to mention, her attack is so cute. Nahida may be this genius god of wisdom, but all I see is someone I want to give head pats to. Anyways, back to the challenge, we head to the Fatui hideout. Since speed is of the essence here, it's back to Raiden for now. After obtaining the key, we head up to fight the Fatui agent. Of course, we have to use all the bursts, which results in Zhongli's burst doing 380 damage, and Raiden's burst doing a whopping 581 damage. Nice. The battle of 3 Archons versus 1 Fatui agent goes pretty much how you would expect, and with the Holy Lyre, we return to Venti to try to bribe him to join our team. Still no. Okay, I guess we'll return to plan A of just throwing Primo Gems at him and hoping for the best. I think something that I find personally entertaining to watch in this is the fact you can see how I'm so used to solo challenges that I'm genuinely struggling switching around characters. I kept switching and realizing, wait no, I need Raiden first. Wait no, I was gonna run with Nahida. Wait no, I was honestly struggling to readjust. For some reason, I don't experience that struggle with my main account, but it probably has more to do with me just being so used to my current main team that it almost feels like second nature, which is sad in its own right. Maybe I need to go outside more. After collecting the first tier, I ended up logging out, leaving the rest of Mondstadt for after I got Mavuika. A few days later, her banner arrived. We had a little under 50 wishes and no pity, but we did have delusion, and that has worked for me in the past. Alright, well, we got a pyro character, just not the pyro Archon. Though, you could argue it, I suppose. Next 10 pull? Bennett. You are not the pyro character we're looking for. Please stop haunting me in every one of these challenges. Third 10 pull. Well, we can totally use this weapon for Mavuika, right? So that must mean she'll be in the next 10 pull. What Ren didn't know is it's actually a terrible weapon for her because she doesn't need energy recharge, and this was an incredibly bad omen. Okay, well, it's not Bennett, so I guess that's a plus. But unless the Saritsa got released and I didn't know, a cryo character will not be on this account anytime soon. We're 200 primos short of a 10 pull, and not wanting to waste your time or mine, I just did some single pulls, which got us a sword and a Kachina. However, we're a few hours from shop reset and 5 more wishes, so let's just wait until then before throwing more money out. It's officially 2025, and any spending on this account officially goes towards my business expenses for my taxes next year, which is good because we'll need all the help we can get. Our free shop wishes don't even get us a 4-star, so it's again time to break out the credit card. I opt to start small since we're pretty decently towards pity now. Unfortunately, our 10 pull still gave us the wrong Pyro Claymore and a child cryo character again. I don't know if I like what this is implying. We're at exactly 65 pity and have like 4 wishes, so there's a chance, right? No, of course not. But I'm not going to buy a full 10 pull, just the 980 crystal pack. It'll be fine. $15 more and I'll have Mavuika and plenty of time to farm for Furina's banner. First wish? Nothing. Second wish? Nothing. But you know what they say, 3rd time's a charm, right? Wrong, nobody says that anymore. What they really mean is 4th time is totally unlucky. After all, 4 is an unlucky number in some cultures. But you know what is a lucky number? 5. Not in this culture though, I guess. I don't have anything else to say for these, so let's just see where we go. I've got 3 more wishes, we're at 76 pity, so she's gotta come home, right? This challenge has me questioning my sanity. I ended up finding some codes online for primos and got enough for 1 more pull. This will be 77 pity, and 7 is definitely a lucky number. Look at that, finally a gold. 77 wishes, and it's all worth it for You know, if I had a nickel for every time Chi-Chi has kept me from a Pyro 5-star, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but why is it always Chi-Chi? I don't want to talk about it. If you feel bad for me, first of all, you shouldn't, because this is the consequences of my own actions, but you can always buy a TokyoTreat or Sakura Echo box, become a channel member, turn off your ad block, or even just comment to tell the algorithm you enjoy watching me suffer for content. All of that does help the channel, or at the very least, it makes me feel better. I am going to have C6 Bennett before I have 1 Mavuika. After all that failure, I decided to log out for a week, because 2 different weeks of spending feels a little bit better than spending it all at once for some reason. A new week upon us, and $50 more spent, I'm now determined to get Mavuika. It's not a want, it is a need. 2 failed 10 polls, I decide to check my pity. I am just under 50. We can do this. I decided to run Mavuika's test run, also finding out that she is incredibly fun to play and regretting spending all my money here because now I can't spend it on my main account. But as long as I get her here, I can enjoy her to my heart's content. After her trial, Seat Lali's trial, and claiming some achievements, we have 1 more poll. Okay, I'll be back in a few days. This is it. I feel it in my bones. We're gonna get Mavuika today. And that's totally not because I finally bought the $100 top-up and will be guaranteed to get her with this. I'm telling myself this video will pay for itself. Whether or not that's true, well, I won't think about that. Time for our first 10 pull, and oh my god, we've got to be close to C6 Bennett at this point. Second 10 pull. Oh, there's the lag. Do we have gold? There is gold. We got her. Oh my. The way her splash art takes up the entire screen, that's crazy. And of course, another Bennett. Well, the bad news is I didn't need to buy the $100 top-up, but the good news is we probably won't need to spend more money for Furina, hopefully. Now that we have Mavuika, we officially have a 4-member Archon team. So we, of course, went and finished the Archon quest, right? Absolutely not. I logged out of the account and didn't touch it for nearly 2 months. I needed to cleanse my brain of that absolutely terrible luck. My absence even triggered Stellar Reunion. Back on the account and ready to farm for Furina, so I didn't have to spend any more money. It was time to begin the true challenge, the grind. We're starting at 39 wishes, which is basically nothing when it comes to this account. I also wanted to see how far we can get on Mavuika's motorcycle outside of Natlan, and the answer, not very far. Also, I think this was about the point that I started to scrap the idea of 1 Archon per nation. Why? Well, honestly, I don't think I can use Mavuika as my main. The back of her outfit is just, well, you get it. So I returned to using Raiden. While we go through the domain for the last tier, I would like to share something positive, something I am very excited for. My favorite series right now, Kaiju number 8, is getting Season 2 in July. Not only that, but they listened to the not so positive feedback on one of the characters, Narumi, and fixed his design. Thank God. Everyone online probably has a favorite character. Mine, Soshiro Hoshina from Kaiju number 8, who appearance-wise is basically just Wanderer in a different font. Kaiju number 8 and Spy Family are currently the only manga that I read regularly that are still updating, since My Dress Up Darling ended recently. Ironically, My Dress Up Darling is also going to be airing Season 2 during the summer anime season. Truly a win for me personally. With the 3 tiers collected, we complete Act 2 and get a free wish. Not only that, but we finally unlock daily commissions, and if you think I'll remember to log in daily to collect my daily commissions, you're very sadly mistaken. Though I should probably consider it because there are achievements that require certain daily commissions, and I did say I wanted to get every achievement. Well, I can cross that bridge when I get there. We feed the ducks for Timmy, defeat a bunch of shield enemies, which for the record is much easier when fighting with a pyro character, beat up some pyro enemies, and wrap up our first daily commissions with the cryo slimes. Having reached AR 14 with the completion of our daily commissions, and a mission from the handbook, I decide to start working my way towards Liyue to get Core Lapis for Zhongli's Ascension. At the release of, I think, 5.0, Genshin released a new world quest with this adventurer who you rescue and then accompany towards Liyue. And I mean, how many adventurers can say they were saved by a team of Archons? Pretty cool, right? We accompany the adventurer to Stonegate, but on the way, we find our target, Core Lapis. On our way to Wangshuin, I finally activate these monuments for the first time in any of my challenges, which also makes me realize I've never done a Geo challenge. Hopefully I'll beta run soon. Get another statue of the 7 unlocked, and this makes me realize if we want to complete every achievement, I'm going to need to use the Traveler to resonate with each nation's statue. You guys are okay with that, right? I mean, it's not a battle, and they would only come out to touch the statue, resonate with the element, and then they go back in the box. So it should be fine. Regardless, we head to Wangshuin, part ways with the adventurer, and do some small world quests on our way to Liyue Harbor. Ironically, this is the stuff I usually cut out of my videos, but I mean, no need to see the Archon quests in much detail, so there's gotta be something, right? Lately, I've been thinking of more ways to interact, and I've been working with an editor for TikTok and Shorts because I very much struggle with converting my content to short form. Additionally, I've mentioned a few times, but I plan to open a Discord. It's currently a work in progress because I want to make sure it's completely done when I make it public. Honestly, I don't participate in all that many Discord servers, so I'm not exactly sure what to include. Is there any bot games people would like? I was considering Mude, but that's a friendship ender, so I don't know. Also, when the Discord is up and running, I plan to release a sort of monthly Ren's Rewind magazine or newsletter sort of thing. A friend and fellow Pink Flower VTuber Blossom has these newsletters she does with a tutorial on how to do it, and I absolutely love the idea. I think it could be a fun way for me to connect and share things like upload schedules, music, and shows I've been enjoying, fan art, and maybe even slice of life comics. It lets me connect with you guys more, and it really wouldn't take an extreme amount of effort on my part. We arrive in Liyue Harbor, buy some core lapis to save some effort, and after some leyline grinding, we hit AR 15, meaning we can finally ascend our Archons. Unfortunately, I didn't run the trial for Raiden or Nahida, so only Zhongli and Mavuika can be ascended. Oops. Nahida we can farm for whatever when we decide to journey over to Sumeru, but for Raiden, we're stuck at level 20 until we at least finish the Rito portion of the Inazuma Archon quest, or a character that also uses her ascent material runs at any point. Maybe we'll get lucky and Kirara, the only other character who uses the Amakumo fruit, will run on Venti's banner. I also ran out of level up books because I spent too much time farming the Morai ley lines, so I could only get Mavuika to 40 and Zhongli to 32. We start Amber and Kaya's story quests to prevent them from blocking us at the end of Act 3, though we can't finish Kaya's story quest until we get Venti, who would also make life easier for Amber's quest as well. After some more daily commissions and a lot of grinding that you have already seen in my other challenge series, we reach AR 18. It's time for Act 3, which means finally our pestering of Venti has paid off because he has joined our team. It was temporary, but it was better than nothing. I had no real plan with this fight, and it was obvious in the fact that a team of 5 Archons were unable to take down Dvalin in his first phase. That's a little embarrassing for me and them. We were, however, able to get our act together and take Dvalin down on the second try, which also means Venti departs from our team until his banner. Unfortunate. Amber, what are you doing? Please get down. We've successfully completed the Mondstadt Archon quest, so we've got some waypoints unlocked and plenty of grinding to reach AR 23. However, our goal is not to begin Liyue. Our goal is to farm Primo Gems to be ready for Furina. Luckily, completing the Archon quest got us to AR 20, which unlocks the Battle Pass, but more importantly, the Spiral Abyss. Before starting the Spiral Abyss, we sit at 53 wishes and 5 pity with a 50-50. Not great odds, but with the Spiral Abyss, we can at least complete some floors and see where it gets us. I kind of figured that Mavuika would be carrying us this time, at least for a while since she's the highest level, but oh man, the term carry puts it lightly. Not to mention, using her motorcycle to just do circles is so much fun. While I'm not the biggest fan of her outfit, her playstyle more than makes up for it and makes me regret not pulling for her on a solo account. That will be for next rerun. I only do floor 1 for now, and we of course get the full 9 stars, gaining us 350 Primo Gems and a completed mission in the Adventurer's Handbook, a 2-for-1 special. How nice. With 55 wishes, I opt to not even touch this event because I couldn't even finish it on my main account. The closest I got was level 19 on the first one because my Kenichi was well built, and even that took several attempts and probably getting a bit lucky. We max level up Zhongli and make our way to Sumeru to get materials for Nahida. I did opt to use Mavuika for this though because, I mean, come on, how cool is it to travel by motorcycle? I wanted to try and avoid the chasm if at all possible, but unfortunately the out of bounds is incredibly weird in Liyue, so the long way it is. I am glad we gained some exploration advantage with Zhongli, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, is Raiden the only Archon without any sort of exploration benefit? I mean, Venti can make wind currents, Zhongli can make his stone pillars, Nahida can collect materials at a distance, Furina can walk on water, and Mavuika has her motorcycle. Well, Raiden's pretty to look at, so she makes up for it. After our journey through the chasm, we arrive in Sumeru, collect Nahida's level up materials, and ascend her. At least we've got 3 out of 4 ascended. I don't think I've ever made this point, but I'll probably try for their signature weapons once I have all of the Archons, and I'm hoping to keep this account free to play going forward since it's a lot easier to farm for wishes for 2 characters versus 6. However, that entirely depends on how our Furina pulls go. After some exploration around Sumeru for Nahida, we wrap up the day just short of 56 wishes and a little over 24 hours until Furina's banner. Am I getting nervous? Absolutely. Alright folks. Today is the day that we get Furina. I decided after the horrendous luck we've suffered, I have to take proactive actions to improve our chances. So we head to Fontaine and make haste for Furina's favorite location, the Opera House. I spent a humbling amount of time attempting to climb up to her chair, and without Venti, well, we failed pretty miserably. I decided the second best place would be facing her chair on the stage. We have 56 wishes, 5 pity, a 50-50, and a dream. Let's do this. I'll be honest, I had already resigned to my fate wait a bit here, and I was kind of planning to end this video once I lose my 50-50, so my next episode can be grinding to try and get Furina. I so badly wish I had my mic on at this moment so you guys could have heard the gasp that I let out. On my main account and on all of my solo accounts, I have never been able to get a capturing radiance. I still somewhat believed it was an elaborate prank. After this happened, I found out that Genshin changed the rates, making it that if you lose 3 50-50s in a row, your next 50-50 loss is guaranteed to trigger capturing radiance. So I don't know what stings more, the fact this would have been my 4th 50-50 loss in a row, or the fact that I got a consolation prize. Regardless, I still ended up with Furina, so that's what matters. For funsies, I tried pulling for her weapon, but of course that was a waste of a 10 pull, and I reminded myself we still have one Archon to pull for. But now, we have Best Girl. This was actually filmed prior to my filming of her solo run, and that solo run made me into an absolute Furina fan. I never really had a favorite Archon prior, but it's Furina now. I debated continuing this video a little bit longer, but I think for an intro first episode, we can leave it a little short. Well, short for my standards. Future videos will range between being long and short depending on the goal for that video. As for how much I spent in all of this, well, I don't want to talk about it. Those who stay to the end get rewarded. So here's my video schedule for the rest of April into May. I hope you all like this challenge, and if you do, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. A special shout out to my channel members who, by the way, knew about this challenge all the way back in November. If you want to get a special inside scoop as well as other perks, you can follow the link in my description to become a channel member too. Until next time!